Can you tell us about next
Okay.
season?
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We have the best possible news early in the week. So what happened is HBO dropped that promo for Game of Thrones Season 8 and all their other prestige series they're premiering in the first half of 2019. There were a lot of reports from the visual effects department that there were going to be potential delays. They thought they were going to miss the Emmys cutoff. Right after that, like really late Sunday night, after that all came out, after I posted my video, HBO came out and made an official clarification about when they would be airing episodes. And it's way earlier than what these visual effects people were talking about. So we got to talk about that. We also learn more about the prequel series, when they'll probably be dropping footage, and the Winds of Winter release date. So I'll explain that stuff at the end of the video. We'll talk about Season 8 first. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. There's new giveaway stuff at the end of the video too. So here's what happened after all these big news sites were reporting that Game of Thrones might be delayed. We might be getting it much later than we thought. So naturally, to be expected, people started freaking out. So of course, HBO got really pissed off. So what happened is they use Entertainment Weekly as a bit of a mouthpiece for information that they want to convey. Like, it's basically like, please post this comment on the trailer when you post it on your website. The full statement reads, Game of Thrones returns for its final 6 episodes that will air during the first half of 2019. There had been reports over the weekend claiming that the show's return had been delayed, quote-unquote, to mid-2019, making it not eligible for Emmys until 2020. Rest assured, first half of 2019 means exactly that, and HBO expects the show will air all of its episodes in time for the 2019 Emmy eligibility cutoff. So that's really awesome that they came out and said that. I'm happy that they clarified. But the most important line of dialogue in that statement is that the show will air all of its episodes before the Emmys cutoff. The Emmys cutoff is May 31st. There are 6 episodes total in Season 8. If the visual effects supervisor said that he thought that they would miss the Emmys cutoff because visual effects are taking too long to complete, then that means per HBO, they'll probably drop it at the latest possible date that allows them to air all the episodes before the May 31st cutoff, which would be April 22nd, 2019. They probably just totally fired that effects supervisor that said that they were going to delay Season 8, so pouring out for him, first official casualty of the season. So yeah, that's really awesome, but here's the really cool Easter egg in that particular April 22nd date, because it is the 8-year anniversary of the weekend that the pilot aired. So I don't think there's any kind of grand conspiracy. I think it's just a coincidence. If they finished episodes earlier than that, they would drop them sooner. But because of the way visual effects are going and the fact that they waited longer to film and they spent longer filming each episode, it just takes them longer in production. Most of the earlier seasons actually aired in early to mid-April. It wasn't really till Season 6 and Season 7 that we started to see more delays. And a lot of that just has to do with the increased scale and the fact that they weren't adapting the books anymore. It's a lot easier to adapt a TV show when you still have material left to adapt. So like they were basically just taking portions of the books and turning that into TV episodes. When they got to Season 6, they had to start making up more original material, and that's a lot harder to do, even though George R. R. Martin sort of told them his outline for how the characters would be panning out and gave them an idea for what the ending of the story was going to be. This new report from HBO about the April date just jives a lot more with what Maisie Williams said a little while ago about them having a spring release date instead of a summer release date, and also with what Sir Davos was saying at the beginning of filming right after they got scripts.
I do have some news that nobody else knows. The reason being I only got this news. What day is today? What's today? Friday?
No, it's
No,
Saturday.
it's Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
So I got an email on Wednesday. Okay, let me tell you what's happening to me next week. I have to leave here on Sunday. And then I get in a car and I go straight up to Belfast, where we are having the first, do you call it table read or read through?
Table read.
We have the first table read on Sunday of 3 episodes on Sunday, and then on Monday we read the next 3. And that's Monday. Then we rehearse for the rest of that week with our 2 of the directors. There's 3 directors for the final 6. And then we start filming. I think officially it's either the 16th or the 19th of October. So what's that, 3 weeks' time?
Yeah.
3 weeks' time we start.
You gotta love Sir Davos. He's kind of like the Tom Holland, Mark Ruffalo of Game of Thrones, just accidentally giving away information about the show that he's not supposed to. When I posted that trailer video a couple days ago, I also talked about the filming dates for the Long Night prequel series. So they'll start filming in February, which is awesome news because that means that they'll also be able to hit that April spring release date for 2020. I've still seen a lot of comments about people not having any idea of what's going on with this Long Night prequel series. People thinking that there's not going to be any more Game of Thrones after season 8 is done. So I will do more prequel videos as we get more information about that. But just a reminder, the prequel series will be the ancestors of the characters in present day. So it's going to be set 10,000 years in the past, meaning the only potential crossover characters could be the Three-Eyed Raven or Bran because they can see into the past, even though I'm not expecting them to cross over into that series. It'll cover the mythical Long Night that's talked about in the Citadel and Old Nan's Tales, ice spiders big as hounds. That's what we're talking about. What they're probably going to do is they'll release the first teaser for that after the season 8 finale airs, just to strike while the iron is hot, while they have, 20 plus million people watching that finale, just to get everybody hyped up for 7 or 8 more years of Game of Thrones. Because you have to remember that even though, say, like 2 million or so average people watch my Game of Thrones episode videos, there were like 20 to 25 million people watching Game of Thrones episodes last year. Most of those 25 some odd million people who watch Game of Thrones statistically only subscribe to HBO when they're airing new Game of Thrones episodes. That's hundreds of millions of dollars in subscription money that they earn. So HBO just wants to let all those people not to cancel their subscriptions after the season 8 finale because we have this shiny new Game of Thrones series that's coming really soon, next spring. So yeah, just expect them to start pushing that hard starting next summer after they air the season 8 finale. So I will totally do videos when we find out new information about it. There was a new report about Winds of Winter potentially being released next year as well from a foreign language translator that works on the Song of Ice and Fire titles for the publisher. He was saying that based on the page count that George R. R. Martin had been submitting to the publisher, he expected fully that they would be releasing the book sometime next year. Now obviously take that with a grain of salt, but he is somebody that's associated with the publishers that translate Song of Ice and Fire books into foreign languages in Europe. So the call is coming from inside the castle. It's a little more legit than just your average speculator. But if it really does release next year, I wouldn't expect that till a little bit later in the year. But it looks like what we'll have is we'll have Winds of Winter to bridge the gap between the end of the main series and the beginning of the prequel series. So when we get that, I will do more book videos. And we do have the Fire and Blood book that's coming out later this year in November. I'll do videos for that too when it comes out. In the meantime, leave all your requests for Game of Thrones videos in the comments. There's a new round of that 4K Blu-ray giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on the video. Congratulations to the winner from my last big video, M. Hallman. Please email me on the About page of my YouTube channel so I can get your contact details. Click here for my video about the new Jon Sansa Episode 1 scene, and click here to rewatch that promo. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.